Thanks everyone for joining us. We're really pleased to bring you Interspaces today as an online exhibition. Unfortunately, with lockdown and COVID-19, we had all sorts of plans to open this in October at Hotbed Press and have a nice launch, but not possible, I'm afraid. So I'm really pleased that we're able to show this online, and we'll also have a recording of this and the presentations that Camilla's going to put on through the Zoom meeting, and we'll have this available after the event. At Hotbed Press, we've got amazing facilities for screen printing, etching, book arts, letterpress and relief printing, and much more. As well as supporting over 300, well, just under 300 members at Hotbed Press, we have 21 artist studios, and we also run an artist in residence scheme and offer scholarships and placements through universities and colleges. Camilla is one of our studio holders. So when Camilla proposed this exhibition, myself and Kate Hodgson, the exhibitions and events worker, we're only too happy to make this happen. It also heralds our new exhibition boards that we put all the way around Hotbed Press to be able to put on exhibitions and have more regular exhibitions at Hotbed Press. We often have lots of external exhibitions, but to have work up here is really interesting, really inspiring for our members, and we hope to have a lot more visitors in the future. Obviously, this year it's been more important than ever to connect to as many people as possible. And thank you for Camilla for making this possible now. Hotbed Press has a history of connecting across the world to Russia, America, Iceland, Hong Kong, many other countries. So over to Camilla. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for joining us.
Welcome everyone. Yeah, myself and other artists are very pleased that we are able to first of all have an exhibition at Hotbed Press, and second, meet you all here today on this virtual event. Thank you, Sean, for allowing us to have an exhibition, and thank you, Kate, for creating it and doing it for us. So I might pass to Kate to say a few words about the exhibition itself and how it was to working with us.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm just to echo what Sean has already said, really, but it's unfortunately due to lockdown, the exhibition hasn't been able to open, but it's really great that we can do this event with you all this evening and share the work online. This is the first, hopefully, of many exhibitions within Hotbed space, and it's been really great to sort of widen Hotbed Press's connections, and obviously through Camilla we've got on board a lot of other artists that haven't even actually set foot in Hotbed before, so that's really exciting, and opening it up to things that aren't just print as well. I think that's been really important. There's a real range of work that you'll see tonight, so yeah, it's been great to have in the space and has really livened up a quiet workshop over lockdown. So yeah, I'm excited for you all to see.
Yeah, I'll just say a few words about the exhibition itself, why it happened. So myself and other artists, we found the opportunity in these difficult times to find a way to connect somehow, change the name Interspaces, because we've been all working in the different environments, different workshops. We were communicating via Zoom, phone, online, and it gave us an opportunity to share our art and share the views and brainstorming some ideas between ourselves. So I think it's a good time now to show you what we've prepared, and we can show you a video of the exhibition at Hotbed Press. So if I can ask Richard to play the tour video. Thank you very much, Richard, for playing the video. I think now will be a good time to present our thoughts and inspirations. So we've prepared, each of us has prepared a presentation, and we will be talking about each works and inspiration behind it. And yeah, I invite you to watch it next. Can I ask you, Richard, to play the next video, please? To start the presentations.
Again, welcome everyone. My name is Kamila Kasperovich and I'm honored to be able to present my works on this extraordinary exhibition opening today. But let me introduce myself first. I am a graduate of Manchester School of Art. I also have a degree in Fine Arts and Graphic Design from the University of Silesia in Poland. I am currently a marketing director at UAP Limited and a member of Hotbed Press Printmaker Studios in Salford, Manchester. My primary focus in my art and design is communicating complex subject matter in a visually effective ways. I am particularly interested in letterpress, poster design, typography, and installation art. I'm also a PhD candidate researching topic of typography in the city at the Faculty of Fine Arts at University of Silesia, mentioned before. Series of my prints shown on the exhibition have been inspired by the city of Manchester. If you've never been, Manchester is a vibrant post-industrial gem at the heart of Northwest England. I used famous city landscapes and transferred them into the screen prints. I deconstructed each image, adding a distinctive texture. I encourage viewers to look closely and focus to notice what's on the prints. In shown works, I'm asking the questions, how do emotions work around the city? I believe emotions play a crucial role in the surfacing of the individual in the city. So are the emotions a private matter that simply belongs to one individual and come from within and then move onwards towards others around the city? Prints are somehow my answer to the question about how does city collect our emotions. First screen print, which I would like to present today, is titled Hilton. This work has been inspired by the famous Beetham Tower, one of the most distinctive and recognizable buildings in Manchester. Colorful circle on the print has been inspired by the vibrant summer sunsets in Manchester. Inhabitants of Manchester are treated to spectacular pink skies, bright sunshine, and a full moon at night, peeping through the clouds in the summer months. When the sun is out, people are happier, and it resonates across the city. Inspiration for the second print was the Tower of Light, one of the newest sculpture-like buildings in Manchester. The building will act as a chimney for the low carbon energy center, and the network will generate low carbon heat and power for the city to help Manchester reach its ambition of becoming zero carbon by 2038 at the latest. And that's why I've decided to incorporate it in my prints. Splash of color on the sprint is also an homage to a beautiful sky of Manchester. Next work is titled Gentleman. This print shows a deconstructed image of the original gold mosaic, which can be found on a Victoria Station in Manchester. Manchester's extraordinary 19th century wealth left a permanent record in an architectural variety and variety that makes the city centre an outdoor museum of styles, from Greek classical to early Toro steel frame structures. The smallest bar in Europe, but the biggest welcome in the world. That's the title of my next work. There are many iconic Manchester pubs, while the Circus Tavern on Portland Street claims to be the smallest bar in Europe. I found this pub with its beautiful signage while walking around Manchester and taking photos for my PhD research last year. This artwork is a tribute to the people of Manchester. Being nice doesn't cost anything, and the people of Manchester know this. That's what brings people back here, the friendliness of the city. Finally, the Manchester Canal, the title of my last work. When it opened in 1894, it was the largest river navigation canal in the world. It was built to cut the time and the cost of transporting goods between Manchester and Liverpool by road and rail. It turned a landlocked city into a port. Cottonopolis has thrived because of the canal, which become important part of Manchester. Now, not always so glorious like in 19th century, still brings a romantic scenery into the ever-busy city. Thank you for listening to my presentation. Now I will pass you over to my colleague for our next artist showcase.
Hello, my name is Wojciech Osłowski. I live and work in Poland and the Czech Republic. It's me on a poster for our exhibition by Justyna Stefańczyk. I am a graduate of the Art Institute in Cieszyn of the Silesian University. In 2017, I defended my dissertation under the direction of Professor Aleksander Ostrowski. Currently, I work as an assistant professor in the new media department in Cieszyn. Before that, I worked in the creative industry for over 20 years. These are the fields of my artistic activity and some of my works. For example, these graphics I called spheres. Here we see a series of photographs showing the historic narrow gauge railroad. Here are some illustrations for the novella by Julio Cortázar. And these are for a story by Kornel Makuszyński. Social poster is the main subject of my artistic work. This is my comment on the world around us and its problems. Both the traditional and the digital workshop are close to my heart. I like to experiment and look for new challenges. I would always prefer to create positive and optimistic messages. However, every day gives me negative themes that I show in my posters. Health, pandemic, ecology, climate change, manipulation, abuse of power, human rights, feelings, and more. Creating each graphic is an adventure for me. Each stage is a search, starting from the concept through sketches to print. The visual language is universal, understandable to most people, and much better than my English. I also use augmented reality in my works. However, I want them to be more in the form of a poster than an animation. I often recall the good advice of the Polish poster master Maciej Urbaniec. Don't make unnecessary noise. Trust the intelligence of the recipient. Be brief. I try to apply these principles in my work. I like synthesis, metaphor, sometimes satire. I leave the interpretation for the recipients. Professor Ostrowski, when I was working on my doctorate, often told me, just do your job, work. That's why I'm glad that I can show you a fragment of my work. I have the pleasure to be a participant in Interspace exhibition. Many thanks also for your patience with my English.
Are mountains real? For me, they are real. I will share my truth about them. My contact with mountains is not only the contemplation of nature. I am a climber. While climbing, I have direct contact with the rock. Touching the rock and finding support for my hands and feet make me experience a magical connection with nature, something truly mystical. I learn to be here and now. Climbing is a training of mindfulness, a form of meditation. To overcome my fear, I have to trust the rock, believe in my physical endurance and technical skills. I need to make sure I have a safe belay so that if I fall off the wall, I don't end up on the scree. Imaginary Fear is the first of 6 works in a series entitled Nature's Sanctuary. Each of them is an expression of my direct relationship with mountain nature. The paintings presented at the exhibition are painting impressions. I created them in 2020. At that time, I came back to painting after many years of creating graphics in digital technology. I get satisfaction from being able to touch the surface of the painting with my hand. The plane on which I want to leave a mark resists, just like the rock when I am climbing. Often, a line or patch instinctively applied becomes more accurate than the programmed effects of a computer program. The matter and structure of the surface and the texture of the image are important in the painting. It is that, together with color, what arranges the visual space. The divisions of the plane help to close the composition. I return to the technique I developed in the early 1990s. It consists in multiple layers of paint on cardboard. First, the natural wood stains, then temperate paints. I make my own paints with egg binder. This creates a base from which I scrape away previously applied layers of paint with razor blades and scalpels, leaving traces of sharp tools. I also use asphalt paints for painting. The combination of these means makes the paintings more expressive and suggestive. Touching the Void is the work that I realized after an unlucky attempt to climb the crowded Tony Peak in the Dolomites. During the approach to the belay position in the fragile terrain, I fell several tens of meters, stopping on a rock shelf 200 meters above the valley floor. I was lucky to survive. I broke several facial bones and fractured my thumb. My mindfulness training was put to the test. The Dolomites are not the only mountain theme in my works. I also often go to the Tatras and the Alps. After an expedition to the highest peak of Austria, I made a digital graphic entitled Großglockner. This graphic was created in 2012 and it expresses my subjective view of this mountain. I have been making digital graphics for 20 years, using etchings and pencil drawings. I scanned them and processed them in Photoshop. I never used photographs in digital graphics. It took me several months to complete one work. Sometimes I went back to some of them even after a year to change something. Graphics intended for exhibitions were printed in large formats. It is impossible to leave out camping under the mountain wall in the sea, harm of sleeping in a multi-star hotel under the open sky. It is an extremely pleasurable experience, especially on a clear night. Such a hotel could be my home. My truth about the mountains comes from my own story, experiences of the mountain nature, emotional experiences and sensitivity to artistic metaphors.
Thank you. This was Richard, and now we will have Justyna talking about her illustrations.
Hello, my name is Justyna Stefańczyk. I am a lecturer in the Games and Virtual Space Design department in Cieszyn at the University of Silesia. I run the publishing house Wild Monkey, which promotes the idea of picture books. I illustrate and create original picture books for children. What Animals Do, eco-song series about Little Worm. I am also interested in poster, typography, and animation. Post time. Everything started during exercises with my student when we talk about online meeting. One student said that using only avatars without switching on camera was something normal in post-apocalyptic times. I agreed with her and I looked at everything with a different perspective. I decided to do a project about the strange time. I chose a title for the whole series, Post Time, because this title is natural without negative connection. I decided to do drawings and animation. I connected one drawing made on paper with one drawing made on tracing paper into one illustration. I used this two-part drawing similar in the animation. Every animation lasts 30 seconds and it's looped. Post-kindergarten. This one work illustrates online connection in the kindergarten. The connections are different but still exist. Post-teenager. The teenagers sometimes have problems with expressing themselves. Post-car. A small car is better than a big car because it is more ecological. Post-work. I think working at home could be difficult because private life mixes with professional life. Post-home. This work illustrates the closeness between people at home. Post-relations. We have an impact on the other people and they have an impact on us all the time. The last animation is a combination of 9 animations. I designed 3 extra animations for post-home, post-kindergarten, post-car. I used a different rhythm and color for every movement in one composition. You can look at the whole project or each animation separately. Thank you.
Thank you, Justyna. And now, last but not least, Alexander and his drawings.
My name is Alexander. I work at the Institute of Fine Arts at the University of Silesia. I'd like to tell you a few words about my artwork and especially my work, which can now be seen at the Interspaces exhibition at the Hotbed Press in Manchester. I want to briefly tell you about my current inspirations. I have long been interested in the relationships between art and science. It is true that technological advances have an impact on artistic activities. Always, new technology gives a chance for new artistic activity. For me, relationships between science and art are fascinating. There are many examples showing that science inspires creators and artists. There are also examples when artistic creativity, artists are ahead of science. For example, Picasso's painting Kitchen and quantum graphs of quantum space. The lines in the picture look like graphs of quantum space. This is Professor Jerzy Lewandowski, quantum physicist at the Museum of Contemporary Art in New York. He shows the relationship between the lines in the picture and quantum graphs. I am interested in cosmology, quantum physics, and space-time. Theory of time and space has changed in light of the latest scientific advances in quantum physics. I am also interested in the relationship between emotions and their energy. New technologies can record new images of the universe. Until recently, the human eye did not see these images. These new images show how great the analogies are between works of art and images of the world and the universe. An example is the comparison of the image of quantum space and the pictures of Van Gogh. I made a series of works dedicated specially to the Interspace exhibition. My works are the result of my interest in quantum physics, a theory of time and space that has changed because now are new theories of quantum physics. The theory of quantum space, the energy world, shows what the universe is like, how it changes me and my future. By transferring this into my life, into practice, I'm learning to be, only to be, without my ego. I want to understand my body and slowly began to appreciate the power of my thoughts. This is not easy. Thinking too much is not good. Traces of the past. Different energy. By transferring new theory to the ground of art, I realized works in which the most important part are objects' shapes, matter, energy, thoughts. They are not an illustration of the quantum space, but a product of my questions, research, imagination, and feelings. Some of the works are made in classical drawing techniques, where patient application of graphite becomes a kind of contemplation in which I am nobody and nowhere. These are the details, relation between objects, next drawing works. The next works are paint wrapped into the drawing on steel plates and three-dimensional metal objects, thoughts, feelings that are mobile. The recipient can create their own compositional layouts. The use of a magnet makes it possible to move these objects freely. In the universe, interaction, energy penetration is a fact. I'm glad that the interaction between me, the work, and the recipient is possible, just like in quantum space. Example of different compositions. Thank you for your attention. I'm glad that I could participate in this exhibition. Thank you to everyone who created this situation. Special thanks to Camila.
Thank you very much, Alexander, for that. Yeah, so that was our last presentation. I hope you've enjoyed what we've prepared, our thoughts, our inspirations, and the works themselves. I think it's if we've got still some time, we can start our questions block. If anyone's got any questions, we will be more than happy to answer, either to ourselves or Hotbed Press. I think most of you are muted, so you can unmute yourself. And yeah, I can start with the question to Hotbed Press. Do you think you will make more like international exhibitions like this after this experience?
Well, let me tell you, the next show is an exchange with India.
Oh, you see. So
we're already there. We're already
yeah.
there. So, but yeah, I really like the idea that we can use our space and try and make exchange and learn more. I mean, just this certainly seems quite a different perspective from the artwork that we're seeing. It feels international. There's a lot of different kind of perspectives on cosmology, on physicality, on emotions. That I'm sure is more Polish than English. So I love to see that when we run the 2020 print exchange, when the international workshops come through, which we're always very keen to see how an international workshop looks different from another international workshop. And they do. The Russian ones look a lot different than the Hong Kong ones. And there's a whole different idea on text and on space and color. And the more we are able to make space for these exchanges, the more we start understanding. And the fact that we're all getting used to Zoom means we can augment all this with a bit more connection to people. It's really interesting hearing you speak. So thank you.
Yeah, oh, thank you, Sean. Do we have any more questions? Yeah.
I don't have a question. I have a comment. May I make a comment?
Of course.
Yeah, I'm thoroughly enjoying being able to turn up to an exhibition whilst I'm not even in Manchester, with people who are also not anywhere near Manchester, and some are, and with artists from Poland. Personally, I also work with artists more in the performance field at the moment from Poznan, from ArtStation Foundation. So it's just very nice to see more and hear the accent, but I'm really enjoying that I can come to something and have some understanding of it by the artist with some sharing and explanations, because for me still to stand in front of an artwork without something, I struggle more. So this is a very pleasurable experience. So please keep them going.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
That's not a question. I just want to say thank you.
No, thank you very much. To be honest, it was very first event for us as well. We never done this before, so we just thought, right, we cannot do an opening, we cannot do closing of the exhibition, but we want to share, we want to show, we want to, everyone to appreciate that, Sean and Kate allowed us to do it. So yeah, we just came up with the idea of let's do it online. Everyone is now online. Why not bring arts online and exhibitions online? So yeah. Thank you.
I would like to have a comment also. Mm-hmm. I'm from Mexico, and I really happy to have the opportunity to know about this really good art that are these people doing, and even the lockdown that we have now. I think I congratulate because we have the opportunity to share. This presentation. Otherwise, we didn't have the opportunity only to go to Europe. So, and also, I would like to congratulate all the artists. Really, for me, it was a new way to see this art. And really, thank you for everyone to share with us.
Oh, thank you very much, Marcia. Thank you very much. Yeah, I think you're very right here, because I didn't even thought about this aspect, that thanks to the unfortunate events that happened in the world, we are able to share the art even further. Because as you said, you are in Mexico, and otherwise we wouldn't met, we wouldn't see each other, and you wouldn't see our art. So yeah, thank you very much. That's awesome. Does anyone have any more questions, comments?
Dear Alexander, hello.
Hiya.
Marcia and Michael Piechota is my family from Berlin and from Mexico. I'm glad that you are with our artist, and I want to say something about us team. As a team, we want to do more art projects, and I hope we will be inspired by the pandemic. The situation now is special, and it's not true. It's not easy for people. It's difficult for everyone, and I hope we will be inspired by the pandemic, because I know that living in a pandemic will give us artists ideas to do, and for artists it's important that they create for other people. And our meetings show that more exhibitions should be organized. I think it's a very good idea. Thank you, Sean, and thank you, Camila, because we are very, very successful, because it's very important for me meet with my artists, meet with my friends. I think it's very important now when the world is with pandemic.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, Alexander. Yeah, I agree with you. I think the art without the viewer, without someone who can watch it and take something from it, wouldn't be the same, would it? We would be creating for ourselves, and that's not the point. We want to create and show it to loads of people if possible. So yeah, Chance, this event is fantastic. We've got so many of you joined us today. Yeah, we're overwhelmed with that. So thank you very much, guys. Yeah, if no one has any more questions, I would like to say only that we will share more videos and presentations on the YouTube. So I think Sean and Kate will help us to distribute to everyone. And oh yeah, we've got Barry.
Yeah, good evening, Camilla. Thank you, first of all, to yourself and Sean for putting this show on the road. Very, very interesting. What I'd like to ask is, there's a very sharp contrast in the work shown this evening. How did you come to select those particular artists?
Yeah, that's interesting, because what we did, there was the project, and those artists gathered together to create the project, and the output of this project were those works. So we gave ourselves a team, the Interspaces, and we allowed everyone to do whatever they want. So some of us stayed with the traditional print, like myself, with the screen print. Some of us did painting and drawings, illustrations, and poster art. So I think it was that's what we wanted to achieve. We wanted to show like diversity, having the same subject, having the same theme, but understanding it differently, because everyone is different. And yeah, that's what we wanted to show. And I think that's why Sean and Kate allowed us to do, and that's why that's the good idea to have such a different works in the space, which normally would have only traditional print in it.
I particularly enjoyed the male artist. Forgive me, I can't remember the name. It seems to fly, but I take it they were pieces that you could move on a board or canvas. I found that particularly interesting because it wasn't static. You could sort of make your own board, as it were, and describe it in that shape and form. That was a very, very interesting presentation.
Yeah, that's the works by Alexander, and
Alexander, that's it.
Yeah, he did his work on quantum physics, cosmology, and emotions. So yeah, these works are, yeah, you're right, they're very interesting, because as you said, they are very interactive. So you can create your own composition by playing with those elements, with the objects.
Very, very good indeed.
I'm going to go and move them soon because I didn't realize I could touch them.
Right.
They are now going to be interactive.
It was a good show, Sean. Thank you.
But with
I noticed there's a question from Magda, which says, how does has the pandemic affected your work, and what were the difficulties and solutions you found? That's to all the artists.
Yeah, that's for everyone. So does anyone artist want to answer the question? If not, I will do it. So yeah, so the pandemic definitely did affected us a lot, because first of all, we thought the artists from Poland will be able to visit England, visit Hotbed Press, see the exhibition, talk with the people, but unfortunately this didn't happen. So the only way to do it was for them to send works to Manchester, and that was part of the solution problem and the solution. And the next solution to the problem, to the pandemic, was organizing the Zoom event, so we can share the exhibition with you all. I'm not sure if other artists got the same view on this.
I just want to jump on and say that you've all been super positive, and despite initially thinking that we could have an opening and then realizing that it's only going to be seen by members, and you've just really adapted well to the situation. And I think it's been great. And even though a few people here have seen the exhibition in person when they've been in and used the workshop, but it's fantastic that we've been able to share it across the world as well.
Yeah, I agree. Okay. John has asked another question. Will there be an opportunity for people in Manchester, Salford to see the exhibition in reality in June, when Hotbed Press opens up again?
I'm afraid that everything that's pushed everything on, with this launch event ends up at the end of this show, because we've been kept on kind of pushing and postponing. And the artists have been very patient on the fact that we were hoping to do this in October, but now we've got a show coming from India that's been postponed. That's coming on in either May or June, which so unfortunately, by the time we open, it'll be a different show. So I want to just say something here. I'm going to offer to say, why don't we have an Interspaces 2 at a time to be announced? Yeah, I'm not going to promise next year or whatever, but let's work something out, and let's do an Interspaces 2, and then we'll invite everyone to a physical show.
Oh, that would be brilliant. That
would be good. That would be good.
We'll keep all your names, and we'll get you off Zoom and across here, and we'll Marcia in Mexico and everyone else who's international. We'll do something else connected like this as well.
Oh, that's a great idea, Sean. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Do we have any more questions, comments?
I think it's wine o'clock, everyone.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well done, Justina.
I would like to again thank you everyone for tuning in and joining us today, for all your input in it. Again, thank you very much, Sean, Kate, and whole Hotbed Press for having us. And hopefully see you again soon on Interspaces 2.
I think on behalf of maybe the other members or whoever, I'd like to say thank you to all who've got involved in this from the art side, not just the organisers. It's a hell of a show, and well done.
Oh, thank you very much, Barry. Thanks a lot.
Right.
So I hope everyone will have a lovely, lovely evening, and
thank you.
Stay safe. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Sean. Thank you very much.